Hi, yeah, hello everyone. My name is Aaron and I'm the co-founder and CEO of DatBike. We build electric motorbikes for Vietnam. Do you guys know that 85% of Vietnamese adults commute every day on motorbikes? And the problem is all these vehicles are gasoline. They are very convenient for city traffic, but they're also really bad for the environment to the point where everyone in Vietnam wears a mask going on the street. And the reason for that is that there's no good electric motorbikes yet. The current model is that they just people who make electric motorbikes, they just go to China and import them, or they import parts from China and build them in Vietnam. Those don't have any identity, and they are very weak in terms of power. They're only about a quarter of the power of a normal gasoline motorbike, and the battery is very old technology. You have to change the battery every 2 years, and the range is also bad, only 50 kilometers and below. So we decided to change that. So we built a new electric motorbike from scratch, and it has the same power as a gasoline motorbike. The battery lasts for a very long time. Mm, and it looks pretty cool too. So about the market size, it's around $6 billion. And Honda Vietnam, who is the dominant player on the market, make $1 billion in profit in 2017. In the past 5 years, the market, the growth rate is about 7% year over year. So about competition, so you can see like on my right are electric options, and on my left are gasoline options. And in terms of power, we are the only company that has the same power that can provide a bike that has the same power as the normal gasoline bike, which is on your left, on the top left right now. So yeah, so Honda, Piaggio, and Yamaha are the two biggest player, and they all produce gasoline motorbike. So about progress, so we started doing R&D in February of last year, and then so after we built the first prototype in December of last year, we decided to go back to Vietnam, and then we spent 3 months building the factory, and now we are a certified manufacturer of motorbikes in Vietnam. We have obtained license to be like official. And as of right now, we have 10 bikes for like testing testing on the street. So we do have users. Those are our private users, and we just launched last week for like a general market. And we try to bring the bikes to a bigger audience. So about our distribution plan, it's going to be 100% online at our website. We sell the bike for 2,500 each, and this is and we're going to be the only manufacturer in Vietnam who have the online and like an online only distribution. We also host test ride. Our factory is right in the middle of Da Nang City, and it's totally free. And people can come and try it. And then if they decide to buy the bike, they can do it right there too. So about the team, so I'm the CEO, and I've been riding a motorbike for 25 years. So me and Gong both met at University of Illinois doing computer science, and then we moved together to Silicon Valley to to work on tech. And yeah, so Gong is a very like skill sourcer. So he does all of our supply chain, and also like a very good engineer too. Yeah. So we have a video here. Yeah. Just let me know if you guys have any questions. Oh, and by the way, the video is made just by us. There's no professional photographer or like professional actors here. The people in the videos are either customer or like our employees.
That was awesome. Thank you. It was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so the judges can start asking questions.
Okay, this is Vivek. I have a lot of questions. I'll let Tuan ask. I have lots of questions, lots and lots of questions.
Yeah,
Vivek, this is up your wheelhouse. You go ahead. Thanks.
Okay, all right. So I think this is a really good idea. E-bikes makes a lot of sense for Vietnam. But you know, you guys don't seem to have a lot of experience with batteries, right? The big deal with all of this is battery, life of batteries, how long does it take to charge? So where do you get information on how do you choose a battery? How do you design a battery? How do you source a battery?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean we are both software engineer around like a year and a half ago, and then we just like learned like a lot really fast, and we are surrounded by like good people in Silicon Valley. So for example, like we learned a lot from like our Tesla friend, and also we still have advisors of the company who used to work for Automotor, which is like another electric motorbike company in the US. And then yeah, we just learned a lot, and our battery right now is like the best in its class. Like of all the motorbikes in Vietnam, we have like the best battery in terms of like battery life and like performance and capacity.
Can you tell us where you source the battery from, or you don't want to do that?
Yeah. So we bought MJ1 battery from LG.
LG, okay.
Yeah,
so
from LG. So those are the battery cell, and then we pack them ourselves.
Okay.
We pack the battery right into the factory. Yes.
Okay. No, because the whole thing about I like the idea of the electric batteries, but when you choose like when you say motorcycles, does that include scooters? Do you separate between scooters and motorcycles, or do you include scooters in the category?
I also include scooter, but keep in mind that those are not the same scooter as like the US, but there's the ones that
No. Like the Asian scooters, like the Piaggio and the
yeah. Like
no, because I know a lot of I've been to Vietnam. I know a lot of women like to ride scooters, right?
Yeah. I count when I said about like market size and everything. I count both motorbike and scooter as one thing.
So you include the scooters in there. So the reason I ask that is that because when you're trying to serve the electric vehicle market, right? So you're trying to go with a lot of power now. if you go for a scooter versus a motorcycle, in a scooter you need less power. So
no, that's actually not true. That's actually not true for Vietnam. All the scooter and motorbikes in Vietnam, there are like multiple class, but the most popular class of motorbike and scooter in Vietnam, which has around like 90% of users. They all have the same power. They are from 110 cc to 150 cc. Yes, and we are right in that class.
So it's 150 cc, you said?
Yeah, from 110, like from like 110 to 150 cc is the most popular class, and we are right in the range. Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We are the only electric motorbikes that is in that range too.
Okay. So what is the infrastructure for e-bike charging? Is there? Do people have to charge? Yeah.
Yeah. So you just use your normal like family outlet at home, and the charging time is only 3 hours compared to, we are the only people who do 3 hour charging actually. The rest of them are at least like 7 hours and up to full.
So you are doing a fast charge, right? You're doing some kind of fast charge, but with a standard outlet.
Yes, because the power to charge the like motorbike battery pack is small. It's not as big as like charging a car, right? Because car is like
it's a question of power, right? So it's a question of total amount of power needed.
Okay. And also like safety too, yeah.
And how much is the cost of the battery here?
The cost of our battery right now is $600 per pack.
Okay. And what is the total cost of the motorcycle? Because you're saying you're going to sell it for $2,500, but what is the total cost of the motorcycle?
Yeah, our BOM and labor is $1,500.
Okay, because your battery is a good part of the cost. So like, how do you avoid it? How do you prevent theft of batteries?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
How do you avoid theft of batteries?
How do I avoid what?
The theft, people stealing batteries because.
People stealing the battery. Yeah, I mean we so right now our main like technology in battery packing is that we reduce the we are able to reduce the packing cost, like the initial cost. You know, like how when people build like a battery facility, they invest millions of dollars into their facility. For us, we invested like $1,000 in the facility. And we still build like the best battery pack in Vietnam.
No. I'm saying if I have a motorcycle and I take my motorcycle and I park it somewhere, if I have a gasoline motorcycle and an electric vehicle motorcycle, if someone steals the battery,
steal the battery itself, not the technology behind it. Okay, yeah. So the battery is not right now. It's not removable from the motorbike right now. It's not removable.
So what have you done to prevent it from being stolen? So that was my question.
It's not removable from the bike. So you have to carry the whole bike, which is around 85 kilograms. If you want to pick up the battery and run away, yeah.
Yeah, no, because that's
not removable. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As in, like, yeah, it's like molded in. If you look at the bike, it's like inside there is the metal casing, and it takes some time to remove the metal casing. Yeah.
Okay. Then one last question I'll ask. I have more questions, but I'll ask one last question right now. So right now, is most of the electric power in Vietnam from coal-fired systems? So you essentially most of the power in that the electricity that is generated in Vietnam is from coal. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. 60%. Yes.
Yeah. So what you're going to do is you're going to transfer oil use to coal use. It's really not an environmental benefit. It's essentially it's not an overall. It's that there will be a reduction.
Yeah.
There's a reduction in pollution.
I understand that concern, but to me, like solving this problem requires step A and step B. So step A would be transfer all the gasoline motorbike to electric motorbike, and then step B would be finding a way to generate energy better than coal. And if we just look at the bigger problem, and then we say that, hey, if A is not done yet, then we don't do B. And then the people who are supposed to solve A say that, hey, if B is
No.
not
I
done
understand.
yet,
No,
so,
I think
yeah.
pollution. I think pollution in cities is a huge problem. So I
Mhm.
think you will definitely help reduce pollution in cities. So
Yeah. And then if and we do believe that if there are if all the people here switch onto into electric, then the coal energy problem is something that would have more attention, and then people would start solving that problem too. Does that answer your question?
Okay. All right. So I'll let Tuan answer.
Yeah.
I'll stop now, and I may come back.
Yeah.
Tuan.
Thank you. Thanks, Sun. What's the range of the of your electric bike versus the range of a typical scooter in Vietnam?
You mean gasoline scooter?
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, I mean for gasoline scooter, it's not really comparable. So for hours, it's 100 kilometer per charge, per 3 hours of charging. So it's 100 kilometer per charge. For a gasoline bike, it really depends. Sometimes they can go for 100 kilometers. Sometimes they can go to 200 kilometers. But when you need to refuel, it's just like a 5 minutes refuel. So it's not really comparable.
Right.
So you can,
I was trying to understand what the range is, only because I know we don't. It's a very much different comparison. But here, when we look at electric vehicles, it's very much what's top of mind for us is range anxiety. So I definitely don't have the local knowledge or the local understanding of what the problems are. But I was just curious from a total range perspective, what does that look like? I know that the recharge.
Yeah, I mean the bigger I guess the better stat to look at is how far people normally travel within the day, right? And 85% of people only go within 30 kilometers a day. So if the current electric motorbikes is around 50 kilometer range, so that can give you range anxiety. But for us, it's 100 kilometer, which is almost bigger than three times compared to what they normally use. So there's no range anxiety anymore.
And what's the average cost of a gasoline powered scooter in Vietnam right now?
So those range from $1,000 to $5,000, and the most popular one is around 1,800.
Okay. And
yeah,
is there... Yeah, go ahead, please.
Yeah. But people buy $5,000 scooter all the time.
Yeah. What is there anything that's proprietary about your design or your technology?
So for design, we are applying for IP protection in Vietnam for the industrial design. For technology, we haven't done that yet. We build the battery for the initial cost is really cheap. This is our main advantage right now. We develop our own way of putting the batteries together and make it make the packing price cheaper than other people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess my question, or maybe even a concern, is I don't know enough about the big players' ambitions when it comes to that market. But the reason I was asking was I was just curious, as you
big
are
player in Beijing, you said, or the big player or the big player in Vietnam.
Well, I was just curious, as you're initially building your business, what are your main concerns as it comes to competition and different types of competitors, whether it's from the established players and all of the R&D and all the cash and the distribution channels that they already have, versus you as an upstart. I was just curious, what are your true competitive advantages as you're building up this specialized e-bike that you have?
Yeah, so I guess our true advantage is that we are doing it, and then the rest of the big the big player right now. So they either do gasoline like Honda or Yamaha, or they just go to China and import stuff to Vietnam and try to sell them. And we are the only company that does any sort of R&D like have our own design on that. And we are tech people, so we understand how to develop technology. And with I guess the biggest advantage is like we understand the market because we ride like motorbikes. But like bigger players, they just like use like the decision makers just use cars. I guess that's the like we need to understand the user. That's
Yeah, I think I go back to my original concern, which is, let's say that you get a gift from the Vietnamese government in the next year or so, and they say, hey, by 2025, we want to electrify the e-bike market and increase that market share by X percentage. Is that something that, and then that then creates an incredible addressable market opportunity and mandate to all the other scooter companies or transportation companies to meet that mandate. Once that happens, how do you think about that challenge, or how do you think about that opportunity from a capital perspective, from an operations perspective, distribution? I still think it's an exciting opportunity. I just think I do think the players like Honda actually have a lot more technology and have a lot more resources, but for whatever reason they are not applying their time to this yet. But which you probably as a founder you definitely have to see some kind of special market that you can address. But
so it's like in terms of competition, we hope that like we right now we are still super early, and if we get to a point where everybody tries to like compete with us, that'd be like super great. I hope that to happen. That's like a good problem to have. What I'm like worried the most about is that like what if people don't like our product? Like we're still at that point where like like is this something that people really want, or this is something that we want but like people don't care about? This is like our stage right now, and we hope to get to that point where we have like a lot of competition. That'd be like a good problem to solve.
Thank you.
Like if we have like so much demand,
Thank you.
I think that wraps up for DatBike. Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation. And good luck. I think a lot of the audience really love your bike, so don't worry about that.
I guess can pre-order right now for $250.
DatBike. Everyone remember it. Look it up. Okay, thank you.
Right, yeah.
Yep, bye. So our last team, EMS.